Ladies and gentlemen, the beta has come and gone. 2 weekends of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 were here. Now they have passed, and now, as we found out yesterday, I already made a video on this, we now have to wait to October 25th to play anything. Campaign, multiplayer, zombies, all on October 25th. Now, after the beta, there was a bunch of concerns by the community about really 3 main things in regards to the Black Ops 6 beta. And as of yesterday, 2 of those things, at least in my mind, were addressed. In this video, I'm going to go over what all 3 of those things were, what the complaints were behind them, and how they are being addressed specifically by Treyarch and by things that were put out via Treyarch. And then at the end, we're going to dive into the 3rd one and you'll see what I mean by that. But without further ado, let me just literally jump right in and show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing here is Treyarch ending the beta. So they said, PSA, we are entering the shutdown phase of the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 open beta and will be running some important behind the scenes tests starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So that is when the beta actually ended. Players may experience increased server latency at this time. So as we know, the beta at that point actually completely ended. So when it ended, they were saying that they were running some server tests. And one of the biggest complaints that we had with the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta was packet bursts, latency, lag, and hitching, freezing, that kind of thing. So clearly they knew about this. And of course, with it being a beta, they needed to run behind the scene tests to figure that out and make it go away for launch. Now, I'm not going to forgive this problem because I think it's one of the biggest problems with the beta. And honestly, if I was a player who hadn't pre-ordered the game and I played it in the state that it was, where there was a ton of lag, you may have gotten surprise banned, and all of this was going on, maybe I wouldn't actually buy the game just because of how I saw that it actually played. So very important that they are testing this. Now, the second biggest thing that people were complaining about was this, and that is the maps of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So Treyarch said this: for those curious about our map size variety at launch, the majority of Black Ops 6 core 6v6 map are medium sized, similar to the size of Raid or Summit. I don't know why they put it in that sense. I will make more sense of it for you in a second. And then they listed out all of the maps and then showed a video of it. So I wanted to do something a little bit different and actually show you what is going on with the maps inside of Black Ops 6. So here is what we have, and here is what we learned today. So first of all, we have 16 maps at launch, 4 of which are strike maps. So all 4 of those at the bottom are strike maps. In this, we have Pit, Gala, Stakeout, and Sandhouse. However, Sandhouse is no longer Sandhouse. Sandhouse is now Warhead. This is kind of the version of Nuketown that we've kind of seen. I've talked about it on the channel. I don't think it's going to be the official Nuketown. Like, I think we will get like a 6v6 small map Nuketown, probably season 1 or season 1 reloaded. But this is kind of like a different strike version of it. So all of those maps down at the bottom are strike maps. Now, then we also have the small maps that we know. So the small maps that we know that we got to play in the beta are Babylon and oddly Derelict. I didn't think Derelict was a small map, but as they stated in this tweet, Derelict and Babylon are considered small maps in this game. And Babylon, 100%, it's definitely a very small 6v6 map. And then we have these small maps that are coming at launch, and there's actually only 2 of these. The 2 maps are Subsonic and Payback. So as far as Payback goes, I believe this is a version of the safe house from the campaign, and Subsonic is kind of like this aircraft hangar with the subsonic plane that is in it. So all of these 4 maps are our small maps that are coming at launch. Okay, we know that. We got 4 strike, 4 small maps. Now the rest of the maps, in other words, 8 other maps, are going to be the medium-sized maps. Now, the medium-sized maps that we know include Scud, Rewind, and Skyline. So Scud to me is definitely a medium to even larger size map, and so is Rewind. Those 2 maps to me stand out as medium size maps. Then we also have Skyline. Skyline, I think, is on the smaller end of medium. And then we are left with 4 individual maps. We have Protocol, which was actually in the beta. We just didn't get to play it on 6v6. And I will say that one seemed a little bit larger, but I don't know if it will play larger. It's kind of more multi-level. It's an odd map. Then we have Vorkuta, at least the outside of Vorkuta, because as we know, the pit is the inside of Vorkuta. We have Vault, Red Card, and Lowtown, which I actually thought was going to be called Canals, but I think that one got its name changed as well. And all of those are medium-sized maps. So that summarizes all of the maps that we know and the sizes of them. Now, why were there complaints about the maps in the beta? Great question. So, from what I saw, first of all, we had Face Off in the beta, all very, very small size maps. They don't play like 3-lane maps. Then we had Babylon and Derelict, which was one very skinny small map and one kind of just rectangular small map. Not everyone likes these small maps. And then honestly, Rewind, Scud, and Skyline, all medium sized maps. If I'm being honest, I don't mind the maps. I didn't think they were bad, but there wasn't really any maps that stood out as good. If you are the frantic, chaotic player, honestly, my two favorite maps were Babylon and Derelict, which do now make sense because those are considered small-sized maps. And over the previous years, everyone has kind of gravitated to these small-sized maps. Look at Modern Warfare 3. All of the maps that were added in post-launch are small maps. We have Stash House, we have Shipment, various versions of it. We have all of these tiny maps like Rust that are all added over and over again. We have small map Mosh Pit, and that is all everyone plays. So if I'm Treyarch and I see this, I'm like, okay, everyone wants small maps. So the majority of their maps are medium-sized, but then we have 4 small maps coming at launch as well. So if you played the beta, I want to hear what your opinion is here. If you didn't like the maps, personally, that wasn't me. That wasn't my take. I actually rather enjoyed the maps. I found them better than all of the Modern Warfare maps, but hey, that's just me. If you are not in that boat or you are in that boat, I want to hear what you thought of the maps down in the comments, because I am confused by this one because, again, I didn't find the maps bad, but a lot of people did. It was probably the majority of the bad comments that I saw about Black Ops 6's gameplay was really fun. I lagged a lot, but the map sucked. And that's pretty much what I saw in regards to pretty much everyone that played this beta. Now, there was one other thing that I saw in this beta, and let me be clear about this one. This is a big one, and we are going to address it here, and that is skill-based matchmaking. So the reason why I'm including this in this video is, number one, we've already talked about skill-based matchmaking, and I don't need a whole video for it, and it's pretty plain and simple. The two things that we have talked about already were two things that Treyarch has addressed, and that is, of course, the connection of the game and the maps, the two biggest complaints outside of skill-based matchmaking. The third complaint, and the other biggest complaint, and the other reason why some people will not be buying this game, is skill-based matchmaking. It is also a thing I am willing to bet over the next year Treyarch never speaks about. So unlike the other two things that people are upset about with the beta, this is one that they won't. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think this is something that they are not testing or not messing with behind the scenes in the beta. Now, the reason why I say that is throughout most of the beta, I felt the relative similar thing every single time I would play. I would have one, maybe two pretty good games. We're talking like 3, 4, 5 kill death. And then I would have maybe 2 to 3 games that I'd have like a 1.5 kill death to a 2.5 kill death. By the way, I finished the beta with around a 2 kill death ratio. And I was not like 2-boxing or reverse boosting or any of these other things that you see creators done. I've never done that. I will never do that. It takes way too much effort, and I just kind of want to play the game. Now, what I experienced on Saturday morning was literally the complete opposite of what I just explained to you. Every single game I got into, I think the lowest kill death that I had was like a 4 kill death, and I don't know what was going on at that point. I know other people said that they experienced similar things around that time, so maybe they were messing with skill-based matchmaking. But here's the difference between skill-based matchmaking and everything else that we talked about in this video. Maps and connection, they're going to talk about, they're going to tell you what they're doing to make it better. Skill-based matchmaking will be a secret that they don't say anything about and will never talk about actually improving it. And at this point, we just have to accept the fact that if you were playing Call of Duty, skill-based matchmaking is going to be involved, and they are constantly going to be tweaking it and changing it, and we will never be able to control it no matter how much we complain, because it is bigger than the community that we have on YouTube. It's bigger than me saying I hate the game because there's skill-based matchmaking in it. It has to do with all of the other players who come home from work, pick up the game, and play it every single day for maybe an hour, maybe 2, but not like us where we play it for hours and hours at a time. It is a different community than we are in, and it is a different community that will be spoken for on the internet. And that is the sad truth about skill-based matchmaking. It sucks, and it is probably never going to change. So, I know that got depressing really, really quickly, but I just wanted to be honest about that. Everything that they talked about and everything that they didn't. So from here, let me know what you're thinking about all of this down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by hitting that like button. Remember, we're not leaving likes for what's in the video. We're leaving a like for the video itself. So if you enjoy my videos, hit that like button. I know we don't always talk about the most exciting and fun things, but we talk about the truth over here. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace.